This new law, Prop 36, it passed with 70% of California voters deciding yes. It not only makes retail theft a felony, but also mandates drug and mental health treatments for offenders struggling with substance abuse. The founder and principal of Elverston Consulting and host of Conversations on Retail, Brand Elverston, here with us right now. Thanks so much, Brand. You know, I've had a chance to speak with the Sacramento County DA about Prop 36. He repeatedly said at a recent news conference that he wanted to make sure the public knew this was not about, going after people who were starving and just needed to feed their family. The Sac County Sheriff even saying out of 1,000 people arrested this year on these shoplifting crimes, only 8 of them were homeless. So how much will this bill really help?
I think it goes a long way in putting consequence back to what, frankly, since, 10 years ago, Proposition 47 came out, which really took the guidelines and the guardrails off of theft in the stores. So fast forward 10 years, it's obviously a problem. Even as you just said, 70% of the voting public is for this. So yeah, it's time that, retailers were allowed to put meat back on the bone and providing consequence to some of these instances of theft, as you see on the video, just walking in, casually taking what you like and then walking out. So it'll take time, as you know, to let this bake in and see if it's really going to make a difference, but it's absolutely a move in the right direction.
And as we mentioned, just setting this up, there are mandatory mental health resources. But one thing that the DA in Sacramento County, at least, has said is that it's been so hard to get people to actually comply with some of those resources. They want to help people who are addicted. They may be fueling their addiction with this theft, or at least financing the drugs with this theft. What does California need to do, and what can be done to actually allow for more success instead of recidivism?
I think what's going to matter is following through with the law. In other words, prosecuting, and I think it's up to 3 years now. The felony jail sentences have been extended. So sure, whether you have it being actually deterring that, or the rehabilitation through the drug component of this, it's going to take time to see, but it's all up to the state of California and the local municipalities, the district attorneys you just mentioned, to actually push this through and make it visibly consequential in the stores to see if it's actually going to make a difference or not. So I think the jury is kind of still out. Retailers that I've talked to about this are kind of like, okay, let's wait and see. It's certainly a move in the right direction, but we're going to have to wait and see. I don't think we're going to see a stampede of retailers rushing back to California that may have left due to the surge in theft. And more importantly, I know theft's a problem, but is the violence.
Yeah, well, we're seeing some of the videos of that violence now, and you actually already answered my next question, because, famously, Elon Musk and other companies moving out of California. I remember when Toyota moved their headquarters to the Dallas-Fort Worth area a few years back. And then just this week, our Nancy Liu, one of our correspondents here, she reported on the fact that one of the In-N-Out locations in California, in Oakland, one of the places with very high crime, shutting down because of violence, people shooting up in the store. It's become so ridiculous. The fact that nobody could do anything and law enforcement's hands were tied. You don't know if there's going to be a big stampede to come back, but if this bill, if this proposition and enforcing these laws is successful and criminals get the message, could you see this being a game changer for the economy in the state of California?
Absolutely. Retailers have 2 things to be mindful of, and all of them want to operate a profitable and safe business. And if either one of those 2 levers are out of whack, it doesn't make sense. Now, independent of why it's not profitable, be it theft and all the other media attention theft got, is that if they can do those 2 things, there'll be a contingent that was on the fence thinking, if this continues, I'm not going to be able to sustain this. This is going to help possibly keep those people in the state. But again, they'll have to, it's all word of mouth in retail to say, hey, guys, we closed the stores in Oakland. Are you seeing a reduction in instances of crime and shoplifting and the violence? And all my 30 years in retail, of the top 3 things that were always important to the vice presidents and senior leadership, safety was one of them. But until the last couple of years, it was rarely number 1. It was always shrink. And now it's the violence, the smash and grabs, the brazenness, the shootings that are occurring, the stabbings, and then the physical harm, as you can see in some of these. I believe that's a Nordstrom's or a Macy's. There's no way that guy watching that right there is going to interfere in that and put his life at risk.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.